Hi guys, alright, when I started playing with Zerg, I felt that there weren't too many Zerg tutorials in YouTube. Most were very old or with poor quality, so I decided to do this. First of all, I will be writing down the steps on the right part of the screen as we watch it being done in a real game. After that, I will leave that written so that you can follow the steps as we watch a second game. And by that I mean the build order itself. During that second game I will comment other relevant stuff apart from the build itself. Okay, hope you enjoy, let's go. Okay, first of all you drone up until you have 9/9 drones, and then you make the overlord. Okay, right now we can see that the Zerg has only 6 drones, but he's gonna make up to 9 drones and then make the overlord. The first overlord, you send it to a scout, ideally when it's not following your expansion, because you want your second overlord, which is being made right now, to go to your mineral line of the natural expansion. So the first thing you make after you have done the overlord is the swimming pool, and then you drone up until 12 drones or so. You always start with a spawning pool against Protoss, and then you make the hatchery. He will have made the hatchery here, but there was a prop disturbing the operation. So right now you make 4 Zerglings. 4 Zerglings because you have 1 hatchery being made, and then you make 4 Zerglings. You will make another 4 Zerglings, 4 more Zerglings when your second hatchery is being made, which will be made here with 11 or 12 drones. And right now he's making the 3rd hatchery, so he's making the natural expansion and the 3rd one. And now he made the gas right after the second hatchery, and then he's gonna save 100 gas to go up to lair. It's important to have the lair soon, because you will need the spire as soon as possible in order to keep the corsairs out of your base. So right now he's going up to the lair, and now with the second 100 gas, what you have to do is to develop the Zergling speed. And now you have to drone up like crazy. I can tell you as a matter of fact that he has 8 Zerglings, because that's the meta. 2, 4, 6, 7 and 8. 8 Zerglings. 4 Zerglings because he has a 3rd, and 4 Zerglings because he has his natural. Right now he has the lair ready. Okay, so what he's gonna do is to make the spire as soon as possible. Here it is, you know. Okay, and now you drone up like crazy. You need 33 drones in order to start with the macro hatcheries. For the time being, in this tutorial, we will keep our eyes in the bases of the Zerg. We are not interested in the fights or what you have to do in the offensive. And right now, see, he had 33 drones, and he made his first macro hatchery. And now, as soon as he has 33 drones again, he's gonna make another macro hatchery here. Okay, it's important. He's making already the hydraulics den. It's okay, but right now he should be making some. Here's the second macro hatchery, which is the 5th hatchery in total. And right now he should be making a spire, should be done by now. Okay, it is. And here you can see that he's making 2 scorches. They are born in couples, but most likely here is making the 4th. You have to make 4 scorches in order to potentially kill 2 corsairs. And now it's time to make the second gas and to start developing the hydraulic speed. See, he has the magic number. With 33 drones, you start with the macro hatcheries and the hydraulic den. In the meantime, you should be ready to defend yourself from attacks with Scourge and Mutalisks. Mutalisks against Zealots and Scourge against those 1, 2, 3 first Corsairs. And now it's time to macro up like crazy. This could be the last macro hatchery, but it's true that you also have to make the evolution chamber and start upgrading the range attack for the Hydralisks and Mutalisks. For the Hydralisk and Lurkers. When one of your bases is attacked, you have to send all the units you have in all your cities or bases to defend the attack, obviously. And as soon as you have the Hydralisk speed, you have to start developing the range. And it's very good that as the range is done, you start developing the Lurkers transformation, let's say. But in this case, as the game is pretty much done, he won't be making Lurkers, I guess. Okay, so that's the basics. From this point on, you will have to imagine the Protoss is not done, okay? And the game continues. What Zerg should be doing by now is start making his fourth somewhere else. But that's pretty much it. Okay, this is another game that we will be seeing just because I think it's a good thing to review everything once again and to fix everything in our brains. Okay, this is the nine drones already made, and now he's making an Overlord. He did really pretty nice because his first Overlord is going in the opposite direction of his expansion. You want the second Overlord here so that he covers the mineral line, because nowadays many Protoss will try to cannon rush you, and this Overlord is great to have him around here to check all this area, because the hatchery, while it's being made, it barely has any vision. So after the Overlord, he started his spawning pool, and now he's making his first hatchery. Now he's droning up a bit, maybe up to expansion. For making gas, but Bane is one game in a row that he's making gas before making his second hatchery, which is here, or the third, depending on the point of view you have. Alright, more drones being made. Here it's like a drone race. What you have to do is to be well aware, have a lot of map awareness, see where are his probes. But in the meantime, you simply drone up and drone up. With the first 100 gas, he upgraded the lair, and with the second 100 gas, what he made was develop or research the third speed. And now drone up. He drones up everywhere, and he most likely has 2, 4, 6. Yeah, he has 8 links. It's like the golden figure, the golden number. Alright guys, once you build your first expansion or the second hatchery in the game, you have to train 4 Zerglings. And once you build the third hatchery at the third expansion, you have to build another 4 Zerglings. Well, the main reason is because otherwise you will lose those hatcheries to Zealots, most likely. But it doesn't really mean that you don't have to make more Zerglings. If you have the chance, because you started very soon training Zerglings, you have to go to his entrance to check him out and see how many Zealots he has. You are supposed to have 4 Zerglings for each Zealot. The good thing is that you detect it in time, and you can always go back to your base while you start making more Zerglings. But just to be safe, that's the minimal amount, 4 Zerglings for each expansion, let's say. The game is pretty chaotic, but well, if you are watching this video, you are playing at lower ranks. So with this information, you will improve a lot in a short period of time. Okay, 33 population, and he's already making his first macro hatchery while he drones up. This is okay, the second macro hatchery. Once you have a lot of drones, it's cool to have here a third macro hatchery. And the Corsair is already here. Corsair usually arrives at 5:30 or so, and he's making the scouts just to keep those pesky Corsairs at bay. And already he starts with the speed upgrade for the Hydralisk. There were the scouts. Okay, I will stop here just for a minute. When you make the macro hatchery and the Hydralisk then, pay attention to this layout, because you have to close as much as possible the entrance, and the rifles should be here, so that in the end you have your Hydralisk and so this is the way you have to build your buildings, so that the zealots are not that terrifying, let's say. Here in the end you can make the evo chamber here and the third macro hatchery like here, and zealots will have a hard time. You can even make sunkens, but in this tutorial I prefer not to have you used to that, because in the end every sunken you make it slows down your economy too much. And one thing I didn't mention is that as Zerg you need the overlord speed. One good thing for you is that we began the game upgrading to lair, so no big problem there. It's nice if you can to focus whether it's zealots or Corsairs, and by focus I mean to right click on enemies units, but it's quite difficult to do it. So we can see here that the push is working wonders. He didn't even started his hydraulics upgrades, and for the time being maybe it might be enough just to with 2 macro hatcheries here, but in the end you are supposed to have your 3rd macro hatchery here and sustain with your 3 bases economy a 6 hatcheries production. Okay guys, this is a side note regarding the number of hatcheries you are supposed to have once your economy is good enough as to allow you to do so. You have to have only one hatchery in the main base, 2 hatcheries in the natural, and 3 hatcheries in the 3rd expansion. Why 3 hatcheries in the 3rd expansion? Because you might think that the sunkens defend your base, and that's pretty accurate, but the thing is that nothing defends more your base than having many hatcheries. Enemy is going to face your 3rd base, and that's why you are supposed to have many hatcheries there, so that you can produce units once you are being attacked. Here we have had a run by from the Protoss player, but the bad thing for the Zerg player is that he has but as I was saying, he barely had any units, so the synthetic is not useful. I guess game speed wasn't too fast, at least to be able to track the meta buildings, the meta build order. He was forced to pull his drones, but right now he's already back to work. And here he's simply content with denying his natural expansion, and Idras 00 did the job, had the job done. Even though I highly recommend to have a evo chamber and start +1 attack for ranged Zerg units as soon as possible. and that's it, because later on you can play with the filer, you can do many things, like for the expansion, etc. Remember to have Hydra speed as soon as possible. Once it's done, start researching the range, and once it's done, start researching the lurkers, because it's the best way to proceed, since there is a moment that if you don't evolve to lurkers, the Protoss army will overrun you or run you over. So I highly recommend to make lurker research once range is done. This is the third macro hatchery at long last, and the +1 attack. Okay, Bane wasn't able to seal the deal with what he had. It's also a late GG, because I think Protoss is more than done, but he's staying in the game. But well, I think this is the basics, and this should do for the time. So thank you, bye bye.